If you're an empath, you've probably been told 100 times that you need to protect your energy. Shield yourself, put up a bubble, imagine white light around you before you walk into a room, cut the cords, carry the crystal. And I'm going to say something that might seem a little controversial. I don't think you need to protect your energy. In fact, I think all that protecting might be part of what's keeping you so exhausted. Now, stay with me because I'm not saying your sensitivity isn't real. It's deeply real. What I'm saying is that the whole way we've been taught to handle it might be built on something that isn't true. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So let's talk about what protecting your energy actually is. It's the shields, the bubbles, the visualizations, the cord cutting rituals, the little energetic armor we put on before we deal with a difficult person or a crowded room. And I want to be so clear, it all comes from a really good place. It comes from sensitive people trying to survive in a world that feels like too much and frankly is too much a lot of the time. And I've done all of it. I'm not mocking any of it. But here's what I started to notice. Underneath every single one of those tools is a quiet little belief. And the belief is this: that our world is dangerous, that other people's energy is a threat, that I'm fragile. Feel that for a second. I'm fragile. Because if that's the operating system running underneath everything, then no amount of shielding is ever going to make you feel safe. You'll just be bracing all day. Every interaction, a low hum of defense that never switches off. And bracing is exhausting. You think you're tired because you're an empath, but a lot of the time you're tired because you're holding up a shield against a world you've decided is out to get you. And that's not sensitivity draining you. That's the constant invisible effort of defending yourself. And this is the part of it that I really want you to take in. You don't have a protection problem. You have a sovereignty problem. And there's a difference. A protection mindset says, I have to keep the bad energy out. And a sovereignty mindset says, I'm so rooted in my own energy and my own light that there's simply no room for anything else to take over. Other people's energy can only run your system if there is a vacancy. If you're not home in yourself, all that space gets filled by their mood, their anxiety. You walk out of the room wearing somebody else's weather. But when you're fully in your own frequency and your own light, there's no vacancy, nothing to fill. Their energy can be right there in the room with you, and it just doesn't take you over because you're occupied by you. This is a thing nobody tells you. The most protected you will ever feel has nothing to do with shielding. It comes from being so completely yourself that nothing else can move in. And that is sovereignty. So what does that actually look like? How do you move from defending to anchoring? Well, it starts with presence. Instead of throwing up a shield, you come back to your body, back to your feet on the ground, back to your breath. The simple fact of being here in your own skin. You're not bracing against them. You're rooting into you. Then it's about knowing your own signal. Most empaths are exquisitely tuned to everyone else. They really don't have any idea of what their own baseline feels like. What does calm actually feel like in my body? What is my yes? What is my no? And the more clearly you feel your frequency, the more you're less likely to drift into somebody else's. And finally, it's a decision that we have to make, a quiet and repeated decision that we have to make when we move into a space that gives us permission to be wide open and within our own energy. And that's not a bubble, that is rootedness. And here's the truth. This isn't a one-time fix, it's a practice. It's a way of living in our own energy that builds slowly. And if you're interested in learning how to do this exactly, Light Leaders is my community for sensitive soul-led women who are over bracing against the world and ready to really make their sensitivity a superpower. And if you'd like to join, check out the link below. The next time you normally reach for a shield, I invite you to try something else, to come back to yourself instead, to come back to your light, to place a hand on your heart and take a few breaths and know that you are safe as you are. You do not need to defend against the world. The world is not out to get you, and you are far stronger than you think. Sending love.